3 races to come from Warwick Farm, and we kick off with the race 5 is a 1400 metre Colts and Geldings race, and I'll just grab the market here. Realised potential is $4.40. Fanfaron off his Beaumont maiden win is $4.50, and Big Artie off a trial is $4.60, out to $6.50 14Dec, $12 Carluca, $13 Better Be Good, and $13 Mr. McBat, along with the others. Now, this race, I imagine that Deanne Pena is quite positive up to 1400 and back from a Saturday race on Realised Potential. And the 3-year-olds 14Dec, who resumes with blinkers on, can go forward, and Fanfaron may be persuaded forward from his wide draw, leaving Carluca and Big Artie to trail the speed. Do you want to kick off?
Yeah, no, I'll kick off. I was against Big Artie. I mean, I freshen up when you trial like that and you're that dominant, sort of, you know.
You're not fresh.
Well, I just think maybe that's the one that's providing me with, 25% of value in this particular race, because the trial was just a little bit scary, but it wasn't done under crackerjack time, was it? And but it did beat some sort of fairly sort of half decent horses. But I was going against that because it's 2 wins were last preparation on this track, obviously, which is important, and it seems to be backed all the time. But it didn't beat much then, did it? Beat Better Be Good and Nagging, like they're nothing. No,
they're nothing. I suspect this horse. See, perhaps tricked by the fact that this horse went up over a distance in his first preparation, I suspect he's 1400 maximum.
Yeah.
Which is why he was easy to oppose at a mile last time away from Warwick Farm.
Okay. And the one which also has a question mark over 1400 metres that I liked was Realised Potential.
Another horse that's been over 1900 in his life.
Yeah, I know, I saw that. Jesus, they were having a throw at the stumps there, weren't they? It's only ever its only other win was over 1350 metres at Beaumont.
I think it's two wins at Wyong, wasn't it? Maiden win and a whatever win at
Wyong. But I mean, it ran in 1400 metre races. It was at Warwick Farm, wasn't it? And it ran against horses like Old North and Water Diviner. You know, it's Water Diviner, how I always had opinion. Did you see?
Where's he gone?
Off to Hong Kong. Oh. Won the first race on the big day the other day.
Wow. Well, John Sargent, you got to look out for those horses that leave John Sargent.
It's one that I so would have liked to have purchased and syndicated, which would have been a very good investment after the thought. So I'm going to say that forget about last start. It was a complete forgive in a higher standard Saturday race, although it was Ziggy Billy and Willie and Perfect.
Yeah, he just got into a terrible spot. Now back up to 1400, you know she's going to be. And the thing is, with this rail going back in the true position, you generally don't want to be on the inside, but at this time of year, it just doesn't matter.
Because I'm suggesting this thing's definitely going to lead with the booking of Dean Pena. How did you? Definitely leading.
Well, look, you've got the 3-year-olds that will let her do it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think James Doyle or H. Bowman are going to be taking her on.
Yeah, and I'll go off the run 2 starts ago over 1300 metres and say 1400 is not so much of a problem. Seemed reasonably strong to me. Hogmanay has since come out and won a couple of starts, hasn't it? So number 1 on top for me with the, what can we say, the obvious or well-found form. And the one that I have a serious watch on is number 10, 14Dec. Beat Fabier, who was running around in the good stuff.
Was one of your favourite horses at the time.
Yes, was running around in the good stuff, and that was actually a nice trial. It's had a 900 metre trial, it's had a 1030 metre trial. So it's not a usual sort of Wallace sort of setup. I'd say it's ready to go, and that is indicated by the booking of Hugh Bowman. This horse might just be better than them. But so I'm interested, I'll probably back 2 horses, one with the actually tried form and the other one on suspicion that it's the best horse.
Yeah, it's a very interesting runner, 14Dec, who did I think overachieved on debut and resumes here in his second preparation. What do you got to say about Fanfaron, the other 3-year-old who who had 3 city runs and then resumed with excuses at Beaumont and then tailed up a terrible field, but tailed them up the other day.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got a bit of a whiff of khaki about it, you know. Thank you for khaki going down to Melbourne there. And,
well, then it needs to go to Melbourne. Can't stay in Sydney.
Well, that's why I'd be against it personally. I'm going to go off. I'm going to judge that horse on its first run this preparation, which was in what I'm considering a weak race, and it didn't put them away. It put Spastics away the other day. The reason why I find a horse like Khaki and not this particular horse is, for one, it was running in Melbourne, and that was its one start for one win, this preparation, wasn't it? I thought it could springboard off that. I think this horse has shown its capacity, and
it's shown a bit of weakness, hasn't it?
Yeah, and its capacity isn't enough to win this race, and it's quite solid in the market, isn't it?
It's virtually favourite. There's 3 horses equal there, 1, 2 and 8. Look, a couple of other things I want to mention. There's no way that Magic Dallas will win, but he is a place chance simply because he's coming back from 1550. He's just one of those midfield stalkers here in this race. And Carluca is a relatively exposed 5-year-old, but is returning off probably a career best run at this course and distance, albeit on soft ground, and has had 2 trials and seems to be trialling.
That sort of 3 interests me. What price was 3?
$12.
I think I won't be losing if it wins either.
Race 6. We have to have a 1,000-metre race as usual, and Gord, for you it's a key 1,000-metre race, and the market is $2.80 the 3-year-old Star Crossed. Next pick is $5.50 Invincible Dame, and $6 Weissman, who was a late scratching at Wyong last Wednesday. $10 Magic Az, $11 another 3-year-old Blazing Steel, $12 Run Sally Run, who has no rider and looks unlikely, and $18 Remunerator. Now Star-Crossed is pretty slick. He's going to be in the van for sure. Run Sally Run, if she does run, won't be far away. Naretva is her stablemate and is an on-pace runner. Zero Cash will punch along here for Tommy Berry on the inside, and Viceman, the locally trained 3-year-old, just had the 1 start and is certain to be on speed as well. Gord, I know you're pretty keen here, so state your case.
Very keen on number 5 Star-Crossed here. It's a horse that I think has serious ability. It got beaten by Conchita last preparation when Kathy O'Hara was on the inside. I think it could have won that race, ridden a little bit more aggressively. The advantage there, as you say, was the leader from the wide barrier. I think that that's actually what cost Star-Crossed the race. The only question mark I have is, you know, the jockey managers, okay? Why wouldn't they be getting one of the good guys on this horse? Is Philip Atkins always put Chris Reith on his horses, or I don't understand. Alicia Threadball, both Charles, now Christian Reith. Like, this stamps me as Hugh Bowman's jockey manager getting him on this.
Yeah, well,
horse.
look, you would think that, but I mean, when you're dealing with left of field trainers, I think anything goes. And
well, I mean, it's not like if Bowman was riding a Waller horse in the race, I'd understand it more, but he's riding a Bjorn Baker horse, so...
Yeah, look, I'm not sure why Chris Reith, who is capable but is not elite, is on this horse.
You see, His Majesty is a horse that actually can show something and has quite a nice dash. They trialled against each other in a 1,000-metre race, this is Star-Crossed. It was under a tight hold leading. His Majesty sort of loomed up, and Star-Crossed saw it and said, no, you're not going to beat me. And that's a horse that can reel off a decent section when it's produced late. I know that was
His
only
Majesty
a trial.
I
think this is a serious horse. I think it'll be winning. I'm massively, you know, when I was doing this race, and I thought, well, there's going to be some money for Invincible Dame because Bowman's on it, and it actually has ran some decent horses last preparation. I thought there might be a bit of money for Blazing Steel because there always is. And then I thought there might be
Blazing
a snippet.
Steel, what was its trial like, Good? Did you watch its trial, Wyong trial?
Yeah, it was fine, but I mean, obviously something's not quite right with this horse because it was heavily back first start at Gosford. Something's gone wrong. They've put it out for 69 days.
We went to 1,200 and raced outside the lead.
Yeah, but like absolutely true. Then goes to this trial, and it was nice, but like there was a bunch there of Gadfly and Grammar School. Well, that's not His Majesty and a 1,000-metre trial that Star-Cross did. You know, it's just like so much more solid for Star-Cross. So I'm saying Blazing Steel might be an overestimated horse, and Star-Cross, although not proven yet, in my opinion, probably is a Saturday Metropolitan horse. I'm very surprised that with that trainer and that jockey that it opened up that price.
Right. Well, look, I think you know everyone's well aware that it's a very slick trialer and it's done very, very well in a Saturday 2-year-old race at its first city run. So, I think all roads lead there. Obviously, Weissman looks like a horse of promise, but he's just bringing a Canberra run here. Invincible Dame, I've got no opinion of. I mean, she did beat. Well, she didn't beat. Louis C.K. on debut. Sorry, Louis C.K. was on debut.
Yep.
She was first up from a long spell. I'm not convinced she's got anything, but obviously she can cheat here.
I wasn't that impressed with the trial either.
Yeah, look, I'm quite prepared to concede the race to the favourite.
Oh shit! Bloody caterpillars dropping out of trees attacking me. Bloody hell.
So, the nightcap, I've stolen it from you, Gord. A mare's race over 1,300 and fairly wide open affair, this one. Perazada off the Canberra win is $5, $6 Navua Mist, $7.50 is no interest. The last start Goldwyn Cup Day winner with plenty of form behind her. $7 Cry for Peace, Bowman booked there. $11 is Star Reflection. $12 Credit Card Miss, and $17 Marikita, $18 Marmaduke's Lady. Now, tempo looks to be Summit Breath from the deep, who goes well forward. Navua Mist is stepping up to 1,300. Tilly's Waltz will be spinning her wheels trying to get up there from the outside draw. Perazada looks to posse up easily from her lower draw. And they're the four that I had on the speed. Giant's Daughter will be trying to get into a... You're having a shocker.
Oh, there's an insect and a leaf. Look.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All good. Cry for Peace won't be too far away from the inside draw, freshened up, or seriously freshened up off a let up. Yeah, so look, I think there's plenty to look at here, Gord.
You can approach this from so many different angles. I found an angle that's I'm not massively comfortable with, but sort of the more I interrogated the race, the more comfortable I became with my selection, which is number 6, Perazada. I'm with Mark. It's something Mark taught me, and that's just like horses when they come to town, they can either live up to expectation or they can't. Well, if you have a look at its city runs, they don't, as far as their finishing position, look that impressive. But I think if you interrogate a little bit closer with this particular horse, it probably had excuses. It's 2 major city runs.
Well, drew inside on a wide day first time on a
heavy 10. Yeah.
And then went back to 1,100 the second time, which seemed a bit silly.
And if you notice, I think this is a sign that this horse might be better than these, and that is that over 1,100 metres in town, it kept up easy. It didn't actually have to be pushed. Its head was everywhere. It looked green. Had to be checked off heels once. And to do that over 1,100 when it's not your actual suited distance implies to me that now in town, up to the 1,300, it's 1,300.
Yeah, so we won at 1,300 last time at Canberra.
Yeah, I'm saying this thing will be winning. As far as Canberra horses go, Nat King Sue and Hermosa Beach are some pretty serious Canberra horses, and beat them quite comfortably last start. It's got a little bit of upside. Look, I mean, I know these sort of like out wide trainers, they do strange things. I mean, it's been up forever, hasn't it? I mean, yeah. I like things at a certain stage of their preparation, but they tend to do it all the time. So I'll just go off the fact that I think that this horse is the best in the race, and finally it's come to town where it's actually going to be suited. So,
yeah, finally, exactly. Okay, so Perazada, anything else here good?
I had another look at number 1, which I've backed quite a few times recently, and it's one where I can actually stamp as provincial quality. Oh, I still have question marks about the city credentials of number 6, but I'm saying it's more likely to be true than with number 1. Number 2, Credit Card Miss, is a horse that I've been backing in the country a little bit. Backed at last start. Yet again, think maybe City Wednesday grade's a bit above it. Navua Mist is one that I don't know what he's doing with this horse. I thought it was a short course.
Yeah,
why is
1,000 metre horse.
Yeah, why is it?
Well,
you know, 11, 11, 12.50. Put it over 1,000 in town on Wednesday.
I think it led and that was its best ever city run last time.
Yeah.
It went to 12.50, so he's going, well, it needs control, this horse. So she controlled the race the other day. She's the horse with the string of city runs. I mean, I've got no opinion of her, and I think she was favoured the other day, and she was also backing up. But she's got the city creds stacked up now.
And another one, I mean, obviously these last 3 races are quite strange, isn't it? Because we can find so many different angles and you can look at so many horses. And another one I had a look at was number 4, Cry for Peace, which had the booking of Hugh Bowman and actually went off Wednesday City win to a spell. And that's a spell that I've taken note of yours. Off a win spell coming back, you can platform off that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Well, it's right. 77
77
days.
It only had a 743 to meet trial. Actually, that's a Matt Taylor pearl as well.
Yeah.
Short spell, Chris Waller off win.
That's right. She was the 100-to-1 Betfair horse that Glenn never backed, that one.
Yeah.
So last start SP just makes it a little bit tricky for me, but she's clearly sets herself up reasonably there. Back to no interest, Gord. I'm surprised how much form that Goulburn Mares race has thrown. The highway winner on Saturday, Chosen Prayers coming around well in town.
Really
since then.
well, yeah.
So that race looks to be overachieving. Fashion Snips, I think, is completely legless. Don't be tricked by the fact that it ran in the Tibby last time. It is hopeless. Although perhaps I'm being premature because she'd have a very long spell, and they can take a while to sort of get back into gear after that long spell, and it could be even the second preparation of a shorter spell that they can become good. His Fashion Snip's stablemate, Star Reflection, well, Chris Lee's told you all about her because she was country, then found the weakest of pissy races at Wyong to make her own. I really don't have an opinion of her. Anisha did something in her first start for Newnham, who has now trained 5 winners.
Wow.
That surprised me. I realised it wasn't much of a race. Banuelo is not much of a horse, but Anisha showed form superior to what I had her down as, and so she's a dangerous closer in this race. Giant's Daughter has only had 4 starts for her current trainer and is just overachieving like buggery. And
Mare in form, but you know,
she's dead set. She's flying for her. Marikita is a horse that's only had 2 runs for Gerald Ryan. I know they're both at Wyong, very weak maidens, but she's got a turn of foot. And fresh Gerald Ryan is dangerous. And look, even Summit Breath worked very hard against Gay's not bad Miss Debutante.
Yeah.
You know, like so that got a pass mark. But Kathy on board there up to 1300. It's a deep race, the last. I certainly don't have a good thing. I've tipped number 1, which, you know, once again, Jason Coyle does me no favours with his jockey bookings, but anyway, I'll have to just tolerate that. Gord.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was just going over Perizardi yet again there. Actually, I'm starting to talk myself into it a little bit more. Jesus, could I make a special in a distance race? Bloody hell. I better check my temperature. My special is going to be Star-Crossed. If it's as good as I think it is, it'll be winning that race.
Yeah, that's a solid as a rock tip. I'm labelling Peaceful Sea in race 3, number 6, and I have backed the debutante Debonairly. Unfortunately, deductions are cruelling me there in race 1 because I did mark number 1 16-1, and she was $2.80. But anyway, I have to suck that one up. So Debonairly and Peaceful Sea for me on a card at Warwick Farm that does offer betting opportunity. We will be back either on Thursday or Friday, yet to be determined, for a Villiers Stakes day preview at Randwick.
Oh, it's a great day's racing.
Yeah, it's got those two English.
Yeah,
it's got those two English races: the 3-year-old race that won by Lady Sniper last year, and the 2-year-old race won by Extreme Choice, who went on to win the Blue Diamond. So Billy is.
Might even fit in a 5-minute rant. Like there were so many things I wanted to rant about.
I know,
we didn't get the opportunity.
I know. We were that flattened by the mediation hearing yesterday that there was no prospect of running a rant this morning, and in fact the rant may be just put on ice for the last week before Christmas and the week after Christmas, whilst we plough through the Christmas racing, which we obviously need to.
But if you get some Facebook post up to 100 likes. We'll do a rant. Isn't that what we're supposed to do these days?
What a good idea. What a good idea. Although we have been accused of not following through on some of our promises. So,
okay.
But watch this space and stay tuned for all the midweek and Saturday previews through the Christmas period. Good luck tomorrow.
See you guys.